Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. There's a Scabs here and a Hook Tusk, yet I decided to pick Pyramad. Now, Pyramad I actually feel really good about. I've played him a lot in the right lobbies and I've had good results, as I'll show in this video. The right lobby means there's no poison, so no Murlocs and preferably no Beast, but that's like late game anyway, Mixna. And Demons have to be in because Breath Reaver is a great opener, which I'll luckily hit here. And Dragons, because then you can hit Chroma Wing, another great card. You know, cards that just scale up, attack quickly, and that your hero power are really good on. There's a Trickster as well, which is obviously also really good with Demons, since if you buff this health, you can build a comp around that kind of. So our opener is fine. We've got double Weaver Trickster, you know, could be worse. There's even bananas that we get from Mukla that, you know, are gonna help us like a little bit with our board. You get your buddy relatively early, so this is a pure stat game. If it's pure stat games, like very little poison, the only poison is Spore, and I guess Amalgadons if people high roll, you are in a great spot to just, you know, snowball with Demons, for example. I had a triple Weaver here, and this is like the only exception to not tripling into a 3-drop. Usually you never triple into 3-drops, it's really bad, but if you have a triple Weaver early on, it's okay. Like otherwise I would have to freeze a triple over 2 turns, just level again, freeze again, and then triple into a 4. I'm way weaker. Now I can hit a Katranatir already, which makes me immune and not take any damage. I'll take a Arm of Empire, that is fine, because I can then taunt up my stuff and finally get attack, because you get a lot of HP. Attack is always an issue with your buddy. Again, less poison, so I can taunt my buddy confidently here, and if people open with Spores, I can just play multiple taunts to try and play around it. We got our buddy. I'm just gonna push the level again. Hero power, hopefully it doesn't land onto the buddy. And of course it does. It always does. So that means we just lose out a lot of health value that otherwise we could have gained. But whatever. We're facing a Millhouse who seems really strong. But we're able to beat them. That is just the power of Pyramad. Like, if you land your health bills really well, you're so strong when you're free to level. We have to stay down here. There's a Taragosa. We, you know, see the possibility of a Trickster Taragosa comp. There is no Beast and no Macaw, but I want to find Argus. We need Argus desperately because the Trickster might just not die. And that way, again, we have the arm on board. Like, we just need an Argus. I'm mainly rolling for, you know, pairs, maybe another Trickster, or the Argus, obviously. I'm taking this buff because it is so much. And of course, I hero power onto the Pyramad buddy again. That's twice already in a row that I just missed out on so much health. People in chat are KegWing me, of course, making fun of me. But yeah, it's still at 16 HP. It could have been a lot more. It's fine. Now, this Draxus seems really strong. Obviously, they're playing Demons. They don't have Weavers, though, but they will end up beating us, because Trickster is my last unit to die. That's an issue that I'm running into quite a lot, is that my hero powers luckily land on Trickster, but it doesn't die, since it's too healthy, so I don't get value. Another cool interaction is that if you have your Trickster die in combat and the buffs land onto something, that health also goes onto the buddy, of course. It's not permanent because it's during combat, but it will apply during that combat phase, so you will be a lot stronger. So it kind of already is a golden Trickster in a sense. We got our Katranatir here, so, you know, so luckily we landed our hero power well here, not onto the buddy, finally. With Katranatir, can start playing some Demons without taking damage and just be overall pretty strong. We still kind of have an optimized board, a lot of improvements to make. We could have easily leveled here because we're so strong, just level button. We're on 30 HP anyway, we can't die. So you could play Pyramad that way, just be strong, level, and then find something else to do. We're able to tie against this dude who was pretty strong. They had a big Imp Mama, which is a good sign. And there's a second Taragosa, so it seems like we will be leaning into that quite a lot. I can't really afford to take an arm without taunts. We really need to hit that Argus. And finally, now that I got the Argus, I can start thinking about what our comp is actually gonna look like. Because we're just like a bunch of health and like decent stats, but what is the future, right? The future is stats, obviously, because there's no poison, but what does that look like with the tools that we're given? First of all, we're given Trickster, Taragosa, so that seems, you know, like I mentioned before, like an obvious way to scale up. And the Arm Taunt, so that way we can start scaling attack as well. The Weaver, you know, maybe some Demon scaling, maybe I can triple it to a Felbat soon. And then the Buddy automatically scales whenever I play a Demon, whenever health lands onto anything. So it's just mediocre mid-game stuff that we'll have to do for now. Now the Cariel actually seems really strong as well. Cariel has, you know, since the buff been pretty decent. I played it as well to great effect. It just seems like mid-game tempo buddies have a place in the meta if the lobby is right for it. Hopefully it lands onto Taragosa, and it does. So our Tarek now has 26 HP. Pretty good. We do take 15 though, meaning we are actually at damage cap because we're also at 15 HP. We gotta be a little bit careful, but 2 people are already dead. Now I have a lot of pairs. I tripled finally one of them. I'm gonna go into 5s because I do want to hit maybe a Baron. Battle Monster is also still a lot of stats. Maybe a Spore. So there's a lot of things on 5 to hit. So I don't really see a reason to level, and I can just just play a strong comp. And now, interestingly enough, I hit a Promo Drake and another Targosa, and I think it is probably worth going for. It's still like more okay scaling. I give some attack to my Targosa, which just has high HP now, which is obviously pretty valuable. So I can just easily, you know, slap these on the board. And there's a Selfless. Selfless as well, pretty good in the end with this board, because we can permanently shield our Targosas if we just get a lucky hit at some point. And now this Millhouse seems pretty strong. They seem like a pretty decent elemental comp, so we'll see if we're able to beat them. And yeah, spoiler alert, we do. We're actually incredibly strong compared to this Millhouse, which at first sight it might not appear that way, but as you'll be able to see, this health buff that we get here is so massive, because it lands again onto 2 cards, our buddy and whatever it lands on. Sadly, it wasn't to the worst one, the Promo Drake, not a Targosa. Doesn't matter, we killed the Millhouse, deal 17, and we tripled our buddy. So now it even doubles the health that it gains from Trickster and from everything else. And it's only at 41 HP. That is not quite a lot of HP. I haven't scaled that much, didn't cycle that many demons. If I had like an Urzul, maybe I was more incentivized to cycle demons and scale up this board that way. This triple is very bad though. I don't really care too much. Maybe Master can work in some way or another. I don't see it right now, but there's also a triple Trickster, so I'll sell out of the promo to play this one to get the extra health or the extra stats onto Weaver and the buddy. And I'm considering going into a 6 still, but I think there's so many 5s that I still want to hit. There's a Baron, which are almost snapping, but Battle Master is so much. Like, look at the HP on my buddy now, it's 57. We also have the Weaver on top of that. I think Battle Master is just way too good to pass up on. Even though Baron like gets value with the Trickster, I also kind of want to see how much it's gonna scale up this buddy. And from 57 it goes to 119. It more than, or it almost doubles the stats, and now it's 127. So in one turn, our Golem buddy was able to just completely explode. Now the George, we sadly didn't have a ghoul. They have a Divine Shield Spore, so we need to win this 50-50 here. Hopefully it lands left side, and then we can probably progress still. And it does. They're really strong though. They have a really great Shaker board. Golden Shaker, Gem Splitter. It's absolutely insane. It's just George doing George things, which is kind of annoying. But I think we have a chance. Like, we only take 11 here. It got kind of close. If we find a ghoul, I think for sure we'll be able to get him. He only has 1 poison anyway. He was tier 4 with 1 triple, by the way, so he tripled into exactly Spore, so I felt fine there. But yeah, of course they always triple into exactly Spore, and I'm gonna take that ghoul because the only issue I see in the late game is not finding ghoul against George, so might as well take it here. Play the Selfless. I'm not gonna play too greedy. I also sold my Katran here, so I can't actually play any more demons or I'm dead since I'm at 1 HP. Now this Cariel beat us earlier. They were really strong. They saw their Golem buddy, and they have Eliza, double Scallywag, Golden, Green Thump, and their taunt still. Will we beat it this time around? Sadly, our Weaver just died into their big taunt. We'll see. Also, our Selfless didn't land onto one of our Targosas, which is unfortunate, and our health buff lands onto Arm twice, which is the worst hit, right? You can see me like losing my mind because these Targosas are kind of useless. They've been on my board for quite a bit. I only landed 1 health buff so far this entire time. That was when I just played them. So we really got to step up our game. That was maybe the reason that Baron was better, because if we have Baron, we are more consistently hitting our health buffs onto Targosas and scaling more cards. But then again, our buddy and our Weaver would have been slightly lower in HP, so we would have to, you know, see what is gonna end up being having the bigger upside. We're facing the Ghost. We got a pair onto Selfless, so this time we can kind of just chill. I really consider this Belamos here because it's so much stats, but I can't take it because I would have to roll a Katran tier. I would have to sell 2 cards. We're able to find Golden Selfless, so now maybe we can shield the Targosas. That is the dream. And yeah, we're all set for the final fight, which is probably going to be George. Let's be real. I don't think Cariel can ever beat the George, who is just absurdly strong. Can't take the Fellbat from triple, obviously I'll die, so I'll take Zap, maybe it becomes useful. And of course, shields didn't land onto the Targosas, and now the health buffs landed onto Buddy twice. I keep missing these Targosas, they're so useless. Just imagine if it actually landed there. So it is a George in the end, as expected. The second place at Pyramad, I'll take it. This is one of the easier second places I've had. I just leveled, played strong 1-drops and like mid-game scaling. That's about it. Missed on some of my triples, missed on a lot of hero powers and, you know, buffs from the Trickster and the Selfless heroes here. We could have been a lot stronger as well and given ourselves a lot higher odds this final fight, but we'll see see if this junky board will be enough to beat the George. So I'm just cycling a couple buffs here. I really can't afford to keep this weak Targos on the board. I'll keep the golden one since the health buff is still really great on that. I accidentally played a Zap. I thought I played the Ghoul here, so I'm just quickly switching it out and wasting a gold. Don't mind me. And yeah, this is going to be enough. Place your bets. We know that the only poison in the game is Spores, so at most they can have double Spore, which of course by now they have. Let's hope we go first as well. We do, and now the Spore just needs to go left side, and now we have a good shot, because then we can selfless, we can shield our buddy, and then nothing will be able to get through our buddy because of how big it is. Hopefully, if the Trickster also dies, the health buff will be really great because it also goes onto buddy. Sadly, they won the flip, and therefore they will win the game, because we don't have the stats to really deal with the high attack that they have from the Shaker and their taunt. So I think this was, you know, really close. We actually had first place potential, maybe with better fight RNG, maybe with a better mid game, but I like this. I think you guys should try Pyramad more often as well in the Riot lobby. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next upload.